guys, good morning. So we moved here in September of 2020. It is currently June, what's today, the 15th, 2021. So I should have documented this a lot better than I did, but I didn't. I've got a lot of pictures. I'll add some still shots to some of this. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through the yard this morning. And like I said, I'll put some still shots in the middle of it in the video here somewhere so you can kind of see where we were and where we are now. Switch over, see if we can look at some yard here. So here's my front yard. You can see I've got the sprinkler going this morning, give it a little water. Got some tomato plants out here. But it's all kind of looks good from here. But to preface this, when we first moved in, this whole area was all creeping Charlie, wild violet, whatever you want to call it. It was really, really barren. That was about all there was for most of this hill, kind of through this area and down towards the trailer there. There was a lot of bare spots like that right there. And then just that plant had grown everywhere. This here was a cherry tree. We just recently cut it down. It was like a Japanese cherry tree or something. It was actually really pretty. It bloomed really well. It had really pretty white flowers. The issue we have is, as you see, all of my neighbors here have nice big giant trees. We had this cherry tree, and it blocked the front of the house. As you were coming up the street, you could see under all the other trees to see people's houses. Ours, all you could see was this cherry tree. And then before we bought the house, there was a tree here, and the ground was just never leveled real well. I guess when they ground the stump, after it finally sunk and settled, it was just kind of a big divot. And then there's a lot of, I haven't looked close enough to really see, but all up through here and over kind of this corner, there's a lot of Bermuda or crabgrass. I'll have to go actually look closer later. I'm still kind of studying grass and trying to figure out, how to look at them on the fly and tell which is which. But this is where we're at now. So in the fall, well, I guess later, probably closer to the 1st of October of last year, I overseeded this some, and I think it maybe helped a little bit, but I should have overseeded it like when we first moved in, and then just hit it with a good fertilizer, and I never did. So we overseeded it, and I think some of that come up here in a few places. So then it seems like it's kind of growing now. I've overseeded it since then. Let's go look over here at the other side yard, and I'll tell you a little bit about this. So as you can see through here, this is actually filled in really well. Well, I say really well. I guess as good as it could have. I overseeded a lot of this too. That's a spot I'll tell you about here in a minute. But as you can see all down through here, this area never gets sun. It's always in the shade. And so when we moved in, as you can see, the new grass and the older grass, this was all dirt. And then right about there was a big dirt patch. Down here by the gate was a big dirt patch. And then up through here, it's still pretty patchy. But all the way over to probably here to the driveway was just barren dirt. And then there was some sort of kind of weedy bush stuff growing through it. And so I overseeded that a lot. A lot of it was loose on the top, so I was able to rake it out with a leaf rake and kind of get down to the hard pack. But that was the other problem, is my yard slopes that way all the way to the back fence to the other property. And so the majority of this, the topsoil was completely gone, and it was just all down to like the hard pack from however many years ago. So then this spring, and we'll walk over here and we can look at the spot and kind of see where I've planted. But you can see this is all, a lot of this is new grass through here. So then over here, you can somewhat see there's a big circle right here. That's where I had 15 cubic yards of topsoil dumped. and then I hauled it to the back with my mower and yard cart mostly, and we'll talk about the back here in a little bit, spread it around and replanted a bunch of grass. And then I've reseeded this this area again, and over here I put some of that topsoil down too, where I told you it was all creeping Charlie or wild violet, whatever you want to call it. We put a lot of that down, and then this whole area has been just reseeded with tall fescue, mostly because it's really hot in the summer. Well, for that matter, this whole week it's been in the low 90s. So I'm trying to stay on top of watering it. I think it's grown in considerably, and it looks a lot better. And a lot of that too is actually some of the original grass. This wasn't a bad spot over here. It's just where we had that dirt dumped and the grass had died. But a lot of the original grass has grown back up through pretty well. So it's that point of the year where I'm just gonna have to stay on top of putting down some fertilizer. It's too late to really seed and try to patch that up anymore because it's just so hot now. So that's the front yard, and that's kind of where I'm at. And I'm going to try to document this. Like I said, I started out not documenting this very well because I didn't take any videos or like anything. Like the first few days we were here, I should have went through and videoed this and showed it. That way you could see it before and after, just see where we are now. But I didn't, so I'll try to supplement that with some still shots because I did take a lot of pictures in the beginning. All right, we'll go to the backyard here in just a bit.